pop the battle.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is the 3 Bravo podcast. I'm your host, Liam Cogan. Today we're going to be doing a veterans benefits breakdown, state benefits, the state of Pennsylvania. First, I want to say it has been a long 3-month hiatus, not making any video content. We really focused on our 20 Mountain 220 mile event to raise awareness for veteran suicide. I want to update everybody real fast, even if that's not why you clicked on this video. The event was amazing. You can check out the event details on our website, 3bravo.org, or you can check out the video in our on our actual YouTube page. Check it out, see what it was all about. It was really awesome. Had a really great time. Took a little break from making podcasts, and now we're in a new studio. We got Gatorhead, new light, and a surfboard that I just kind of had laying around. But hopefully it doesn't suck. Lighting's kind of weird, whatever, figuring it out. But on to the benefit of the day. So today we're going to be talking about the state benefits of Pennsylvania. This is another really good one. There are a ton of vets in Pennsylvania, not only a ton of vets, a ton of people. So dependents, veterans, everybody. If you are looking for your benefits and just a quick breakdown of what those things are, you have come to the right place. Now, I like to preface these veterans benefits with the fact that I have a few different videos that explain some state benefits, universal state benefits. You can check those out through our YouTube channel as well, that kind of get into the nitty-gritty of what are some of these veterans benefits, or some of these veterans organizations that help me understand, my opportunities in my state. And a lot of our benefits at the state level are actually federal, but they're kind of advertised as state benefits, like VBOC, so Veterans Benefits Occupational Center. Those are pretty much like national. They're going to have different names in every state, but they're going to basically help you with your resume, get you involved in your local community, help you understand what entrepreneurship is in your community. A lot of things like that. They'll help you. They'll basically help you get ready for the civilian job market. So getting into these state benefits in Pennsylvania, the first thing I like to talk about in all of these state benefits podcasts is the income tax. So income tax is something that we are always paying attention to, because it seems like our era of human, our generation, millennials, Gen X, boomers, whoever the hell you want it to be, we're all taxed to no end. So you want to know if the place you're moving to, or when you're getting out, are they going to tax the ever-living shit out of me? The short answer is almost always, but we can always check that out and just figure out what's going on. So with military and retirement pay and survivor benefits, so SBP, RCSBP, RSFPP, all of those benefits are fully exempt from Pennsylvania state income tax. So that's a really great thing. Not every state does this. So remember that when you're looking at your state and you're thinking, okay, well, that's just a given. This is not just a given in every state. So, commend your state legislature, commend your state, and look to move to a place that actually appreciates their veterans. Active duty and National Guard reserve pay, so it's taxed only if earned while residing in PA. So if you're active duty and you're in PA, there is a chance that they're going to be taxing your pay. Generally speaking, that's like, of course they are. You're, using the state's commodities, you're using the state infrastructure. So they're going to tax you. It's not ideal, but it's not a huge deal. If you're outside the state, if you're just claiming PA, which you can do as an active duty personnel, if nobody's ever told you that, somebody has done you wrong, you can claim your state of origin, the state that you actually depped out of. So PA is a good one to do that for, because your active duty pay is going to be exempt. VA disability compensation or dependency indemnity compensation. So that's basically like if you have a disability and or if you have a dependent who is completely disabled and you're taking care of them. That is not taxed in the state of Pennsylvania as well. Moving into property taxes. Now remember, with property taxes, and I say this in every state benefits video, if you're looking for a state to move to, 100% disabled veterans. So this is almost always going to be the very high bar that states set for property tax exemptions, but it doesn't go down to your state. It usually goes down to the county level. So some states will do it statewide, which is really cool and really convenient. However, some states, like right now, we're at the studio in Virginia. That's why everything looks super Virginia pink and gatory and surfy. It goes to the county level. So whatever my property tax benefit is going to be and whatever level of disability I have to access that benefit, it goes down to the county level. So for me, Virginia Beach City runs that benefit. So getting into Pennsylvania, right, what I mean by that is do your due diligence, double check, because they're not going to check for you. If you're a 100% disabled veteran, they're not going to connect the dots for you. None of your states do. The government doesn't. Sometimes we feel like we've earned that the government should do all of that for us. Yes and no. You know, they're not doing your taxes either as a civilian. They're not doing a lot of things for you as a civilian. So there's a lot that we just need to kind of come to grips with and do for ourselves. So if you're a 100% disabled veteran, the real estate tax exemption is for you in Pennsylvania. So if you're 100% service connected, if you have a permanent disability like blindness, paraplegia, loss of arms, for a lot of these states, for some reason, it's 2 limbs. You know, you just have to do your due diligence, send a message to your local county or local governance and say, this is me, this is what I am. How do I access my property tax exemption? You also, in the state of Pennsylvania, have to demonstrate a financial need. So your income has to be below $114,000. Remember, that doesn't include disability benefit. So here is something to pay attention to. If you get nothing out of this video, you're a Pennsylvania folk, or you haven't sent any, you don't have to send my shit all over the place. I'm not asking you to link, like, and share. It does me a great service. It does the veteran community a great service for people to know where some of this free information is. But this is something you should send around. In Pennsylvania, so every once in a while when we're going through these state benefits, there's something going through the state legislature that would massively influence the veteran population. Right now, Pennsylvania has that going on in this exact benefit. So if you're not 100% disabled, but you want a property tax exemption, which should be all of you, okay, this matters to you. So House Bill 1257 is currently being established, talked about, pushed through committees, voted on in PA. If passed, it would expand property tax exemptions to all veterans rated at least 50% disabled, regardless of combat status, and extend benefits to surviving spouses. So this hasn't passed yet. It's going around in the House. And so what you can do, the bill was introduced on April 17th, 2025. So that's good. Like, it hasn't been lingering around for a very long time. This is, its first year trying to get passed. And it was reported as amended out of the House of Veterans Affairs and Emergency Preparedness Committee on June 16, 2025. So it's currently circulating. It's laid on the table in the House as of September 10th. What you can do is find whoever represents you in your state Congress, okay? Find your state, not just your state representative. Your state representative will help a great deal, but find your representative of your community in your state Congress or your county or whatever it's going to be. Call them and say that this matters to you. Email them and say that this matters to you. Do whatever you can, because pushing this through the House is going to get a massive, massive benefit for a lot of veterans. It's going to do a lot of good for a lot of people. So if you don't do anything for anybody this year, do that for your fellow veterans in PA. So going into state-specific education and financial aid. Remember, this is not federal benefits for education and financial aid. Those are covered in a different video that I've already made, and I will update as I possibly can. But these are just state-specific programs. So some states give you free education in state-run schools as a veteran, which is really cool. Alaska, Texas. In PA, there are some different ones, some good ones that don't exist in other places, but it's not quite as good as a full education for veterans as long as you go to a state-run program. So there's the Veterans Trust Fund and Education Gratuity. So this is a grant for children 16 to 21 of wartime veterans who died on active duty or are totally disabled. So that includes 100% disability. They must show financial need and attend a state or state-aided institution. So if you did like 6 years, you didn't quite access that college benefit to give to your dependents, and you're 100% disabled, this could be something that really benefits you. All you need to do is show you have a financial need. So the numbers on that weren't super clear. Apply for it always with all of these benefits. The easiest way to see if you have access to it is to just fucking apply. If you get denied, then you do some extra research and you figure out, okay, well, why did I get denied? Were they wrong? Is there something else I can do? Then there's the Veterans Temporary Assistance, VTA in Pennsylvania. VTAPA provides up to $1,600 per 12-month period for emergencies like food, shelter, clothing, and utilities. This is available to honorably discharged veterans and surviving spouses not receiving public assistance. So with benefits like these, this is always going to be something that you request. You have to prove why you need it. And with almost every veteran's benefit, an honorable discharge is kind of the perquisite. Things like disability, like other than honorable, are acceptable in some circumstances. But when it comes to like state benefits that are in addition to a lot of the federal benefits that we get, it's almost always going to be dependent on an honorable discharge. So it's not something that I'm going to go through with every single benefit. Like, what is your disability status? What do you need to access this? Just assume that honorable discharge is the perquisite, and then if that's something that you don't have, go check. Always go check. So employment and licensing. Veterans preference in civil service. So for a lot of states, check out our 10 benefits in every state video. But a lot of states are going to have a point preference in your application for federal work or state work, state employment, right? So if you're doing any kind of state employer, working at the county clerk as the kind of, you're doing any kind of civil service like that for your state, they're going to give you extra points on your exams. And then if you're a disabled veteran, they're going to give you a follow-on extra point or preference, right? So that just means here's Joe Schmo, here's me who is in the military. They're perfectly even scores, 19 out of 20. I'm taking the veteran. That's just what it goes. County Veterans Affairs offices provide free assistance applying to state and federal benefit, education, housing, and employment. So there's a big issue in the veteran community. That is what my nonprofit does in accessing, understanding, and receiving benefits. So if you go to your county Veterans Affairs office and you don't get the answers you need, shoot me a message. You can ask anyone. If you shoot me a message on 3bravo.org or through the YouTube, I'll answer it. For the past couple months, we've been really busy building some really cool stuff for vets, but there's no question that I'm going to try and get you what you need at some point. Vehicle registration. So this is one that I'm currently going through in Nevada. Sometimes this can be kind of a dick dragger. I'll explain that in a minute. But if you are a disabled veteran with a 100% service-connected disability, they reduce your fees for vehicle registration down to like $7.50, which is really good because sometimes these fees can be like $400, $500 or more. California, it's probably $10,000. So things that you'll probably need. This isn't a guarantee, but this is like perfect execution for any state, almost. Can't just say any, there's 50. But if you take your DD-214 long form, so your long form just has your honorable, dishonorable, other than whatever general status, okay, on your DD-214. That's what they need to see because they need to generally just see if it was honorable or not. You take that with your disability paperwork either to the DMV or to the county clerk first, register that information, and then go to the DMV. It's going to be one or the other, right? You can either just go to the DMV with all that paperwork and they'll say, good to go, done. Or you have to go to the county clerk, they verify it, then you go to the DMV, then you're done, right? But it's worth $500. It's like usually the places are right next to each other too. So worth the $500. Save yourself the money. That money adds up in the long run. Unfortunately, it is only for 100% disabled, or if you're a paraplegic, quadriplegic, lost multiple limbs, blindness. And then moving on to fishing and hunting, kind of like the recreation side of your benefits. So I've also made videos on this. What are my favorite states to check out? Check that video out as well. There's some really cool benefits in some states that even apply to out-of-state hunters, which is pretty awesome. Excuse me. Free resident fishing licenses are available to Pennsylvania residents who are disabled veterans with either a service-connected disability involving loss of limb or blindness or 100% disability. So that is a completely free fishing license. That also applies to your hunting license. If you have between 60 and 99% disability, so anything under 100 and above 60, your fishing fee license or your hunting license are reduced to $2.97. It's pretty solid. If you haven't started fishing or hunting outside of your military service, check it out. It's a great way to clear your mind. I really enjoy it. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I think it's really great. Next, moving on to burial, memorial, and some additional benefits. The state veterans homes. If you haven't heard of state veterans homes, it's just something to be aware of, okay? At the end of this veteran life cycle, okay, at the end of our lives, we're usually a little crippled up, or, can be a little crippled up. And most states, almost all states, operate what are veterans homes, which give veterans with certain, they generally give preference. Now, I can't say this for every state, but they generally give preference to like a greater degree of disability, right? If you're a quadriplegic, they're giving you preference to get into these state homes. However, it's not like if you only had 10% disability or you didn't apply for disability at all, it doesn't mean that you don't have access to this in any way, shape, or form. It just means that they're giving preference to somebody who already did the due diligence of getting registered. So state veterans homes in PA operate so there's 7 of these in PA. They operate long-term care for veterans statewide. All you really need to be is a PA resident and have honorable service to apply. And if you're not aware, this is insanely lucrative. This can be a really, 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 really expensive service. And these homes make it either free or really affordable. So something very, if your grandpa or grandma served in, Vietnam or Korea or something right now, and they're in a home and they haven't applied for a veteran's benefit, there is a huge movement for a lot of people who haven't. There's always this movement, unfortunately, but people who haven't applied for benefits before to get into these benefits for the very first time, and getting into these homes is like a huge deal for that. It saves a ton of money. If you're doing it right now, you understand. If you don't understand for the future, this is something really good to know. There is a blind and amputee veterans pension, so you're probably already receiving disability benefits, but if on top of that, you will also receive $150 a month. PA kind of set that veterans pension up in the state, so you get an extra $150, which, goes a long way. And free birth and death certificates. So copies can be provided to veterans and dependents at no cost through the state. Those are your state veterans benefits for PA. As these things go, I may not have hit them all, and they may change next year. I'm going to try to stay on top of this. Hopefully by that time, we'll have more people running this podcast too. More people trying to get these benefits out. And then you don't have to look at me so often. So I'm Liam Cogan. This is the 3 Bravo podcast. Thanks for checking this out. And again, with this state legislature pushing through Bill 1257 through PA, that is something that you want to share as a Pennsylvania vet. Share it with your veteran friends. Share it with the local VA community. Make sure people know. call your Congress people, make sure that bill passes. We're pretty good about it when it comes to federal VA stuff. Let's get it done at the state level. CLPA people later.